So, how did you get involved with Gorillaz?
Well, the whole thing was Danger Mouse approached me to do a song, and he was like, he's just doing a project. He didn't know, he's like, you should just come try these, I got a song, you should just come try it. We'd try to do whatever. And I went to his house. He was in Mount Washington. I live in Pasadena, so it was very close. Went to his house, and I was like, what's this? And he's like, let's just try something. And then I did the song, and then later down the line, it was told, like, oh, this is going to be a Gorillaz song. And I was like, whoa,
Really?
Yeah, so it was like, before he wasn't really told, like, it's kind of like, I guess it was an experiment, or, he was just going to turn the project in. And it just happened, so.
So had you heard of Gorillaz before?
Yeah, because I'm Far Side and High Road, well, Dale, I know Dale very well, so I knew the whole thing from, Dale's previous, on the first album.
What did you think of Gorillaz before you started working with them? Did you have any kind of idea of
I didn't have any idea. I mean, I know it was like animated, and I went to the website. I guess that's the way to start off. And then when you go to the website, like, I was like, wow. And you just on there forever. And so you just trying to figure out, like, what is this about? What is it about? And then you just kind of like start working, making your own things and your judgments, and just start, this is like just a cool project. You don't really, it's not nothing. I don't think like I really make it left or right. I just think of it as just like a project. It's like, like a nice project, a nice collaboration. It's just different artists from different places, and it's cool. I mean, so I didn't really have any judgment of what the Gorillaz were or what they were about. I was just like, well, I know Dale had did it. I know Dan Automator, and everybody. So I was just like, man, it'd be great to be on the project.
Okay.
I had no problem.
And so the song been written kind of by Damon and then fiddled about with by Danger Mouse when you did your contribution, or was it more? It's Brian, isn't it?
Yeah. When I got the song, I think pretty much it was just Brian. Like, like he had the chorus. I heard the kids.
Yeah.
And so that was the whole thing. That was like, I was like interested in the song because I was like, oh man, like kids in the choir. It's just like I just imagined something really big when I just heard the kids. So it was pretty much a skeleton track. It wasn't even like the track like how you're hearing it now. It wasn't even extravagant like that. It was pretty much just basic.
And so how did it take off from there? So you put down your bit, and then did it go over to Damon and he fiddled about? Like, was there communication? Was there a phone call where he was like, hi?
Well, no, actually what happened was I did the song in Los Angeles with Brian, and it was, like I said, it was a skeleton track. And then when I came out here to do the live radio version, that's when I heard the actual version with the strings and the violins and everything. So.
And what did you think when you heard the sort of...
I was just like, oh, okay. Because at first, when I was in there, I was like, I have to be honest. I was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, and then I was like, you know what? Try it. Give it my best effort. And then when I got back here, and then I heard the completed version with the violins and the strings and everything, I was like, oh, man, this is tight. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely. And then when did the video happen?
The video happened... Wow, just recently, because we just went to Africa.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it the other day, and it was just awesome.
I mean, that was our first trip in Africa, so that was just an experience, just going there and then being in the desert, and everybody. I mean, it's cool because everybody seems like a real family. Like
Cool.
It doesn't seem like anybody's stray. From the cameraman Carrie doing stuff to Jamie to everybody, it just seems like one big giant family, and they're all used to working with everybody. And anybody that comes along with it is like, all of a sudden you're a family member. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden you're joined into this big family. So I can't complain. It's been great. It's been a hell of an experience.
And what do you make of the animation and the cartoons? Are you a fan?
Man, I mean, I don't know if you guys have it out here, but like Adult Swim, they have like Adult Swim.
It's amazing, yeah.
So like I watch animation all the time. So like to see this animation and then like I guess feel good when I saw like that was like the pre-video, and I was like, oh man, here it goes again. Like, man, this is some stuff that you just see people try to draw like if you know kind of like artists that are into animation, they try to get to the levels of having something that nice, but it's never really that nice.
Yeah.
And then when you actually see it that nice and full spectrum, it's just like, it's kind of like, it blows you away when you see it like completed, done. I can't even lie, man, it's, like I said, it's just a privilege to actually be on a project.
Yeah. So if we move on to this live show, was that kind of out of the blue? Was that a phone call and they said, hey, we're doing this live show, and what did you think?
Well, I heard basically it was, they were talking about it, saying like, we may have a live show, but it wasn't concrete. And then I would say like, maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, they were like, yeah, it's gonna go down. It's gonna be at the Opera House. Cause I talked to other people about the shows that they had before, and they were just saying that, they had the band behind the screen about for the American tour, and they was like, well, we tried something different. We had the band behind the screen, but it kind of was cool and it kind of wasn't, but we want to kind of explore a little bit more on different, things. And so I think it's going to be exciting. I think people are going to be excited to actually see everything put together, like the album come alive.
Yeah, most definitely. And when did you find out who the other guests on the album were? And what was that like?
Well, when we did the live session for the radio, that's when I met like, Nina Cherry, and, met Dayline, met Shine Ryder, and just all these people we were all in the studio, and so it was kind of cool because we all got to meet each other and kind of, feel each other's vibe on the whole project and see what this person's coming with, and like, oh, okay, because sometimes you listen to the songs, but you don't know the actual artist who's on the songs. And so like, when I was in the studio, I was like, oh my God, you sing that song? And like, oh, that song. And, my manager, Greg, I mean, he was in love with the album, so he would play it all the time. So just like I said, when I finally saw the artist with the songs, I was like, oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
And who were you most excited about meeting? Was there anyone in particular that you were like, oh my God?
I think, man, Ike Turner. Ike Turner is just like, that's like real big. I mean, like from the movies, from everything that you heard about, and you just say, man, that's the actual man, that's the legend behind the legend,
Yeah.
So I think that's really big. And then, to actually meet Damon and to actually meet like, this is the guy who kind of created this whole thing, and, and even Jamie, who's somebody who's not really involved musically, but just involved with the animation and everything, and you just really get to talk with them, and you just get to see like, wow, these, like, man, you must be really thinking about something deep, what I'm saying, to come up with these kind of concepts. Yeah, but then, it's nice to just find out that, they just, everybody's just regular people, and, just trying to make the best out of everything.
And you've rehearsed already, haven't you? How was that?
Yeah, oh, no, with the kids and the kids dancing, it's going to be incredible. Hopefully I'll be the one. I won't be the one just get outshined, because the kids are ready. They seem like they're ready more than I am. I'm like, oh God. But the kids are like, so it's going to be cool, because I think they're going to keep me pumped up, and they're going to keep the audience pumped up, and, whatever parents is there, they're going to be excited. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be good.
And kind of just to wrap it up, is there any kind of one best thing that you've got out of this?
Ooh, wow, what would I say? Well, I mean, I think basically being that I'm just pretty much like hip hop based, it kind of like being involved with this project kind of like opened up the doors a little bit more to just, just music in general. I won't say pop, I won't say rock. I can't, because I can't really classify. Like when I listen to Gorillaz, it's hard to classify them and put them in a certain position. Like you can't say pop rock or, jazz or, so it's really just like a music explosion, really. So it's kind of like just being involved with the project, like I said, is a blessing. So I can't say what's the best part. I think it's just meeting the people and, getting to meet like I said, Nina Cherries and the Ike Turners, and just really seeing those people and just seeing like, okay, these are real people and they're nice, Yeah. I mean, even though that I'm in music, I'm still a fan of music. So it's never like I'm not ever like stargaze at somebody. Like I'll still be like, oh my God, that's what's the name? So I think that's the best part of it. And, and just seeing the people's reaction. I mean, you never really know how a song's gonna come out, but I guess people really kind of like the song Dirty Harry, which, I mean, you kind of, I just be like, oh, that's good. Like, you kind of blush and just go the whole thing like, oh, wow. But
are you looking forward to seeing everyone's faces in the audience and stuff and just doing it live?
Hopefully I won't have my eyes closed. Hopefully I won't have my eyes closed and be nervous. But no, I think I'm waiting to see what it's gonna turn out. I think it's gonna be good. I have no doubt that it's gonna be bad. It's just how good it's gonna be. You know, that's the whole thing.
Definitely. That's great. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to?
I think that's perfect.
Cool.
That was
Good.
great. Awesome.
Start again.
Yeah, you're just in the shot that comes with you.
Yes, you can.
You need us to answer, like, say to repeat the question? Or
Oh,
does it matter
yeah.
if I give more?
Yep, fine. Is that all right? I'll sit back here. Okay, how did you end up getting involved with Gorillaz?
Well, we have a mutual friend that kind of knows the guys, the Gorillaz management and all that stuff, and found out that the guys were working on the album, and the name came up. De La Soul came up. They posed it to us. It was like, yeah, let's give it a shot. Let's see. You know, we knew the stuff that they had did on the album before that with Del. Kind of knew what they was about, and for De La Soul, it's just like we like experimenting. It isn't, you know, rap for us. Hip hop has no boundaries, and whether it's a hip hop group or rock or reggae, what have you, for us it's an experience. It's an experimentation, and what better group to do it with, you know, than the Gorillaz?
Yeah, definitely. So I was gonna say, were you like, you'd heard of the Gorillaz before? Were you fans?
I can't say, you know, like die hard, you know, when's the album coming out like a lot of kids are, but definitely saw the videos and heard the music, and actually at the time, Dan the Automator, who was a part of the project, that last album, he was a friend of ours, so we kind of had that connection as well. So, you know, something that we definitely knew about and was interested in, but kind of at a distance, you know, just, you know, observing and, you know, giving it its respect and props from afar.
Yeah.
We're fans now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely. What is it that you like about Gorillaz? What do you think is the acest thing?
I mean, I think as Dave was saying, with us, one of the things that this grabs us about them is that they have no boundaries on how they work, because that's pretty much how we work. And to see someone who quite honestly can almost push it to levels even further than we are, that inspires us within what we do. So just straight up, the fact that the way they see things, the way they view things, it's just no set way of doing it. They can have this great masterpiece of a song already put together, and in a minute's time they could just strip it down and add something else. It's just no recipe or formula to how they make something great, and it's not about making a hit, but something that's good to them, and that's just the way we make music.
Sure. And with Feel Good, how much of that, because you've got a co-writing credit on it, and how much of that was your input? Like, did Damon give you the song and say, like, this is the song, will you do a bit on it, or how did it
No,
kind of
actually,
grow?
we were recording for 2 days, and on the last day that we were there, you know, we had completed some other stuff, and Damon was like, let's just play some tunes, see if you feel anything, if you feel like you can add something to it, you know, give us some advice or whatever the case may be to a song, or just pitch in and do your thing. And just playing music, and Feel Good came up, and we were like, wow, that's kind of cool right there. Let's just give it a shot. And it was all, you know, coincidental, all, you know, just jumping on the vibe and on the feeling, and not really like planning anything. A couple of beers, you know, a couple of other things I can't talk about, and you know, the song came out, and I think for De La Soul's experiences, that's how good music comes out naturally, nothing planned, you know, very coincidental, and just going for it and feeling good about it, and hence Feel Good Inc.
Yeah, it feels so unforced.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
feels kind of really easy.
Yeah.
In terms of the other people who are involved on the project, on the album, I mean, it's a pretty impressive roll call, isn't it?
Absolutely. Just even right now, just seeing Ike Turner on the stage is like, I'd never believe I'd be in the same building as Ike Turner. And not even only that, I mean, you know, the greats, but just seeing, you know, the Gorillaz themselves, you know, just like feeling what they've done and loving what they've done, not just feeling like, you know, we put a record out and now let's sell records. you know, the performances on stage are heartfelt and they love their music. And, you know, if it sold 1 copy or 3 million copies, they'd be proud and loyal and loving their music. And that's just a good experience, just seeing them themselves appreciating what they've put out there. So.
And what do you think of the way that they've integrated, like the animation and the live band and stuff?
Insane. It's just insane. I mean, something that, you know, we've always envisioned De La doing. So it's like, you know, you see kind of like different, you know, characteristics. We've always had cartoonists do stuff for us and what have you. So, but to see them taking it to the 10th power, it's like, wow, the doors are open. You could do a lot, you know.
Did you ever think that when you were like recording the track that it would perhaps translate to a live thing?
Never.
So what happened? Did Damon call you up, and how did you find out about it?
Yeah, well, to get the call from the guys and hear that, wow, this is going to be the first single, and, you know, you guys got to see the video, and actually you guys got to come down to shoot the video. And we was like, it was kind of like, whoa, this is moving fast, like, you know. But the experience has been nothing but inspiring and just, you know, a pleasure. I mean, you know, it doesn't feel like you're doing a job. It doesn't feel like, you know, you're in the music industry. I feel like you're just kicking it with a couple of friends and being creative.
Yeah, it feels, it's such an unusual thing to do, isn't it? To get all of these amazing people in a room, even just for one kind of quite little spot, and the fact that everyone wants to do it. Who have been the people that you've been really excited about meeting? I mean, have you had much of a chance to hang out with anyone?
As of yet, not really.
Not really. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, me personally, if Dennis Hopper's here,
if Dennis Hopper can make it to
I might get an autograph.
Yeah, that's like, and Ike Turner as well. You know, I mean, we're friends with Bootie Brown from the Far Side, and you know, Nana Cherry as well. So it's like, you know, those. It's always just, you know, cool just to re-encounter those, you know, individuals and just say hello and just chit-chat for a second. But I guess the exciting parts, the real, like, wow, I'm looking forward to that, is probably the Ike Turners and Dennis Hopper.
Yeah. Do you think that there's like a common kind of mindset between a lot of the people that have been involved in guesting on the project?
I think common in the sense of pushing the boundaries of creativity, like Ike Turner has done, as even Dennis Hopper has done in the field that he's a part in. And we may not have known about each other talents up to date, like personally, but I think the common web is the fact that we all creatively love to just go as far as we can.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up in a second because I know you've got to fly off and stuff. But what has been your favourite thing about being involved in it so far, and what are you most looking forward to about performing this live?
Me personally, the friendships, I mean, quite honestly, I mean, I love the fact that when we can do something creatively, but, you know, a lot of times you could do something and then move on, but the fact that I can really see that our relationship between us and the Gorillaz will go on, and it won't end at just guest appearing on their album. It could be possibly something with us or something just totally different. Just actually meeting someone and like minds and coming together somewhat like as, almost like superheroes to just, for an idea you believe in, to like save music or have music produced or felt the way you want it to be heard, and I think that's what we get from them.
That's amazing. That's a lovely answer. How about you? Would you?
I mean, I think it'd probably be going along the same lines. I think, you know, but I think even above the friendship, I think we've definitely made some great friends. But even if those things were to dwindle down and die out, you still have the music. You still have the experience of putting on a CD or putting on whatever it is and saying, yo, we did something. And I think, to me, that's even more important. Like, the music itself, that involves everything. Friendship, creativity, a vibe, whatever you want to call it. It's like, the music is what'll always be here, even after we're long gone and dead.
And just for, you know, these performances, what are you most excited about?
Just, I think for me, it's just even getting off stage and watching. I mean, you know, it's like, you know, doing our part is definitely important, and we want to be involved, obviously, but getting off stage and going maybe to the side and sitting down and experience it ourselves, that's what I want to do. That's what I'd like to see.
Brilliant. Those kids are so
Good
awesome.
point to end.
Yeah, no, we are.
Cool.
We are done.
Thank
Where are
you
you
very
flying
much.
off to?
We're
Right, so
Yeah, he was jogging down the road and saw like this.
this would be a great jogger for when you've lost hope. So, how was working with Gorillaz?
Have you ever worked with Gorillaz before?
Have I ever worked with Gorillaz before? No.
It's not easy working with Gorillaz. Gorillaz can be quite vicious sometimes.
And were they vicious creatures with you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
In
they
what
were
way?
very vicious. Just the harshness. It was just the harshness of editing, snip, and revocal, and you know,
Yeah.
there was no room for any wastage.
Were they brutish?
Oh, very brutish, very brutal to me, definitely.
Did you find this the same problem?
No, it was very, very easy. I went in and yeah.
You see what happens with.
Yeah, I think it's maybe there was a competitive kind of I don't know.
I think it's because you're from West London and I'm from South London. That's why.
It might be it though.
Because you're in with them.
I'm a bit more local.
It's like, oh, South London, let's give them a hard time.
Still territorial.
Yeah. But so, how did you end up working with Gorillaz?
Oh, the Zombie Flesh Eaters, the people who do the animation and all that, they had an office next door to my manager. And one day I walked into the office and told them that they were rubbish and I could do much better than them. And they, watch out for me, I'm gonna do animation soon. So I don't know. And then one day they called up because my management company are very powerful. They can get things done.
And so, what, you got a call from like Damon? Who approached
Yeah,
who?
as I was saying, management company are very powerful. And I think my management company and Damon, they go out to dinner or lunch sometimes. So over lunch, they thought of the idea.
Okay. Who was a fan of who then? Was Damon a fan of who?
Everybody grew up listening to Park Life and all that stuff. I grew up listening. I seen him on some program shouting out some musicians, and I was like, I was knocked back. Like, man, I didn't realize there was more to this bloke.
Did you listen to the last Gorillaz album before?
Yeah. I'm a big fan.
Were you a fan?
Of course.
What was it that you liked about them?
Just the idea, just the assorted cacophony of elements from every element, just the mesh, and then how it's rounded off with a pop suave, a pop sheen.
Yeah.
It's like it's a perfect record, but it's an impossible record as well.
In what way impossible?
Because you can't do these kind of records all the time. You can't do this kind of event all the time. It's like to get everybody here today. There's how much people here that are involved in it. It's like,
yeah, it's hard.
It's
a little
a
hard to
phenomenal logistical nightmare.
believe. It makes me think of
this.
Challenge Annika.
Yeah, I
Everyone
think
running around with
they should bring Annika down here. Get Annika. Send for Annika.
Martina, how did you get involved
With
with Gorillaz?
I don't even know. I think there was whisperings and talks of them looking for people, and they were working on another album. And then the next thing I knew is I had an appointment to go to their studio, and so yeah, I don't know. That's how it was. I was informed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with the track that you two both appear on, was that track kind of ready and the Gorillaz had made that, and then it was like, and what would you like to add to it? How did it kind of grow organically? How was that?
I was working on some other beats. Like they sent me like about 3 different notes. Yeah, they sent me one beat. I did a little guide vocal on it, and then went out to the studio and did a few like guide raps, guide songs, not guide rap, guide songs to a few other tunes, and I just walked in a bit early on a session and heard that the Alone beat and said this is really good, and then Damon just sprang on me and said, yeah, it's really good. Well, do something then, and that's what he's like. And I was like, well, do something. You think it's good? Do something. And yeah, I sat down with Damon and what's the name again?
Brian?
The Mouse. Mouse. Yeah,
Brian.
Danger Mouse, and just started to feel the ambience. And I didn't know that Martina was going to be on the track And I didn't hear it until the track was finished. I was like, wow, that's amazing, because I've always wanted to work with Martina, and now I've done it without even hooking up anything. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, because your bit's kind of like clouds parting and voice of I was going to say voice of God. Yeah. So how did you end up?
Well, that was it. When I went down to the studio, I didn't know that Rodney worked on the tracks either, and that was it. They played. They said, funnily enough, both of the tracks that we're thinking of you for both have Roots Manuva on, and I was like, brilliant, because I of course have wanted to work with him for years. So and they sounded great, and I loved the sound of the tracks. I thought their production sounded great, and so I thought I was going to go down there and take the tracks, go off and come back, and I was like, well, I'll do that. And they all kind of went, oh. And I went, well, I could do something now if you want. And so
Did you make yours up on the spot?
No, there was a guide for that one, which is a really lovely melody, and got actually written and finished while I was there. So it was a very, very painless, pleasurable experience. Yeah.
And what was the first you heard of them doing this live? Who called you and told you, and what did you both think?
I can't remember. What did I think? I thought, yeah, that sounds like good fun. Let's do it.
I mean, I thought it would never happen. I'm sorry. I am sorry. The ton of me.
I don't know. I've heard that was improbable.
Trade the trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just doing an interview. I'll call you back, yeah?
And when did you find out who the other guests on the album were? And did you just think, oh my God? I mean, but how did that?
Yeah, it's knockout, man. I don't think read the sleeve notes and just all the little bits and pieces, and it hasn't. The nail didn't hit. The hammer didn't hit the nail on the head till I got here today and seen how much people that I've admired, how much people that I've worked with and come across, and it's like, wow.
And so, out of all the people milling around now, who are the people that you've most been just chuffed to be around?
Well, I'm sharing the dressing room with Miss Nana Cherry.
Are you?
Yeah. So that's very nice. I want to hang out with her for ages. That's great.
Yeah, genius. I don't know who put this together. It must be.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I haven't really thought about it. I thought we'd just show up, not really. I mean, I haven't thought about any of it. Just and it'll probably hit me in a couple of days. How.
And what do you make of the sort of concept of having the animation on screen and then the sort of Muppet puppet, looking on over the balcony and all of that? Like it? Find it funny? Think it doesn't work?
Well, there's some funny references they're coming out with. I didn't know if it was a dead cert. We heard it. We didn't know if that was definitely going to happen or not. But,
okay.
That's funny.
Just to kind of wrap it up, what's the best thing that you've got out of working with Gorillaz?
I like being around people. I like being around other people that make music and people that, like with Mr. Roots Manuva, I got a chance to work with him and hanging out with Nana is going to be great. And yeah, I think it's just really nice. I used to love that about going to festivals and play at festivals, just being around other people. Is really nice.
Definitely.
I have nothing profound to say. Go on, what are you gonna say? Something about the amazing concept.
No, it's amazing to be, because before being an artist, I'm a fan, and it's amazing to be able to go up and touch some of my heroes.
Yeah, I still didn't get that.
I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of Miss Martina here. Like, wow. I'm like a child in a toy shop. Tell you, for real. Bonfire.
And anything you're particularly looking forward to about doing it live?
Yes, the new album of Martina Topley-Bird featuring MC Ruth Manuva Smith. The new supergroup.
But are you excited about seeing everyone in the audience going woo, and like little kids and the kids on stage and stuff? Is there a particular
I actually really
live
like the
element?
idea of it being 5 days in the same place. I really like that.
Yeah, definitely.
With
What is it
the-
that you like about it?
I don't know, because it feels like you could I don't know, it feels like it's going to be like a kind of exponential experience, man. And it's like when you're traveling, do you know what I mean? When you're traveling, then you can get a bit lost and kind of lose and maybe don't really fully get, into
Yeah.
the experience.
Yeah, like it's kind of more of an event sort of thing that you can really perfect.
Yeah, or just not the transient kind of weirdness. But then again, I haven't been on the road in ages, so I might be just making it up. So it's I really like the idea. And also it's Manchester, good shopping.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of my family are here, so I'm gonna see them, and I've been really looking forward to this actually. Yeah.
Cool, that's wicked. Unless there's anything else you want to add about Gorillaz and how they treated you, I think we can wrap it up. Anything more to add?
No.
Okay.
I exposed my piece.
Very well indeed.